Hello, welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy this week's chapter of Punishment 2, Return of Amanda, by Olivia Julius. The idea of going to CJ's Steakhouse for dinner suddenly made me forget about having to be a girl in front of my family. We always go to CJ's Steakhouse whenever we are in town. Honestly, it's one of the best things about coming here for Easter break, well, other than the carnival rides at the Easter fair. My parents and aunt seemed excited about the dinner plans, discussing the restaurant's menu, and sharing stories of previous visits. I looked over at Brittany, who was unsure of why we were so excited to go. "Trust me, this place will change your life," I told her. All my cousins including Brittany took Rebecca's Jeep while our parents took Aunt George's car. I sat in the back seat with Brittany while Rebecca and Ethan sat in the front together. As we made our way to CJ's Steakhouse in Rebecca's Jeep, the anticipation in the car was palpable. The wind rushed through the open windows, carrying with it the scent of fresh spring air. Brittany, sitting beside me in the back seat, seemed curious and excited, though a bit unsure about what to expect. Rebecca and Ethan chatted animatedly in the front, their laughter filling the car. They seemed genuinely thrilled to be heading to CJ's, and I couldn't help but share in their enthusiasm. Brittany turned to me, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "So, what's so special about this place, anyway?" I couldn't help but grin at her question. CJ's Steakhouse is more than just a restaurant, it's an experience. The food is incredible, especially their steaks, but it's the atmosphere that really sets it apart. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Brittany nodded, her interest piqued. "I'm looking forward to it." Rebecca glanced over at us from the front seat, a mischievous grin on her face. "Oh, you are in for a treat. CJ's is legendary." Ethan chimed in, adding to the excitement. "And don't forget about the famous dessert menu. You're going to love it." As we entered the restaurant, Brittany's eyes widened in amazement. The interior, designed to resemble a cozy log cabin, with deer heads mounted on the walls and antler chandeliers above each table, seemed to transport us to a different world. The warm, inviting atmosphere filled with the chatter of diners and the sizzle of grilling steaks added to the excitement. The steakhouse was filled with the chatter of diners and the sizzling sounds of cooking. The aroma of grilled steak wafted through the air, making my stomach growl in anticipation, despite my nervousness. We were led to a long table near the back of the restaurant, and I couldn't help but feel like all eyes were on me as we walked through the crowded dining area. I knew it was just my imagination, but it was hard to shake my self-consciousness. As we settled into our seats, Brittany and my cousins and I found ourselves on one end of the long table, while the adults occupied the other. A friendly waitress handed out menus, and I couldn't help but smile as I scanned the choices. CJ's Steakhouse was renowned for its delicious steaks and hearty meals, and I was looking forward to eating their famous steak. I watched the waitress walk around the table taking our drink orders. I quickly looked down at the dress I was wearing and wondered about whether I was passing as a girl or not. The thought that I might be seen as a boy in a dress made me scared for a moment. "Ma'am?" the waitress said before Brittany hit me in the side. I looked up at the waitress and then stammered out a weak, "Dr. Pepper." The waitress wrote down my order and went on to take Ethan's order. "Don't worry, you look great," Brittany said. "Are you sure?" I asked. "Oh yeah," Brittany said, smiling. "You do." As we waited for our meals to arrive, conversation flowed freely among the cousins. We reminisced about past family gatherings and shared funny anecdotes. Brittany and Rebecca hit it off, their personalities meshing effortlessly, and soon enough, they were engaged in lively conversation. Ethan chimed in with stories of his own, and soon we were all laughing at his story. The sound of sizzling steaks being grilled in the open kitchen only served to heighten my anticipation. My stomach rumbled in response, and I eagerly awaited the arrival of our meals. When our plates were finally brought to the table, I couldn't help but feel a surge of excitement. The steaks were cooked to perfection, juicy and flavorful, and the side dishes were just as delectable. As I took my first bite of the ribeye steak, all my worries about being Amanda temporarily faded away. The taste was heavenly, and I savored every mouthful, enjoying the delicious meal in the lively company of my cousins and Brittany. Brittany, who had been apprehensive about trying a steakhouse, looked pleasantly surprised as she tasted her burger. "Wow, this is amazing!" she exclaimed. "I had no idea steak could be this good." I chuckled at her enthusiasm, glad to see her enjoying the experience. "Told you CJ's Steakhouse was worth it," I said with a grin. The meal continued with laughter and shared stories, creating a sense of camaraderie that put me at ease. It was moments like these, surrounded by family and good food, that made me grateful for our yearly visits to Aunt Georgia's house. We made our way back to Rebecca's Jeep, our bellies content, and spirits high after the fantastic dinner at CJ's Steakhouse. The car ride back was filled with laughter and satisfied sighs, a testament to the memorable meal we had just enjoyed. As we drove through the spring evening, the setting sun casting a warm glow on the horizon, I couldn't help but feel a sense of contentment. The worries about being Amanda had temporarily melted away, replaced by the joy of spending time with family and friends. Brittany, who had initially been uncertain about the steakhouse experience, now wore a satisfied smile. "I can't believe I've been missing out on this all these years," she said, her tone filled with genuine appreciation. Rebecca nodded in agreement. "CJ's is a hidden gem, that's for sure. We're lucky to have it in our town." Ethan, who had been regaling us with funny stories throughout the meal, chimed in, "And the best part is, it's a tradition for us. Every Easter break, we get to enjoy CJ's together." As we pulled into Aunt Georgia's driveway, I felt a sense of gratitude for the special moments we shared during our visits. Being Amanda, though sometimes challenging, had a way of bringing us all closer together.